Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be doing a second look using the newly released, it's the Chanel Spring for 2023, the Delices quad. I've already done a video on this with the blush, but there were some requests in my comments if I could do some comparisons with it to the Chantecaille Spring that was recently released as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the Chanel quad again, and alongside it I'll also swatch the Chantecaille so you can take a good look at them. And then what I'm going to do is another look using the Chanel quad just with two of the shades. In the other video I did when I was showing the new quad and also the Chanel blush as well, I was saying in it how it would look really lovely just using two of the shades at a time. And yesterday when I wasn't doing any videos and wearing makeup just for myself, I did use two of the shades and I thought it looked really beautiful. So that's what I'm going to do today. But first of all, we'll just take a look at the quad again. The Chanel Les Four Ombres, it's the number 68 Delices. So I'll hold this up for you again, and I've also got the new Chantecaille one as well, which I've also done a video on this. Both quads are really beautiful, and I just think there's some people out there that are probably just deciding which one to buy. So here are the two quads side by side. The really lovely Chantecaille one, which I think has a beautiful pink in it, and the Chanel, which is a really gorgeous pastel colour story. So first of all, I will swatch the Chanel on my arm. I'm going to swatch from left to right and top to bottom. And this one is the Chantecaille, and again same thing, swatching from left to right and top to bottom. So the Chantecaille quad is here, and this has more shimmer in it. This is between these two colours here. This one is more of a true yellow. This one is more of a gold. Now with the pinks, this is, well, for me it's sort of a neutral pink, and this one is the one that they call purple, more sort of a lavender. And this one here, it almost looks, sometimes it can look a little bit coral, but Chanel do describe it as a matte powder pink. And with this Chanel one here, this one is, it's described as a luminous matte, and they also describe this as a brownish mauve. This one here is a matte in the Chantecaille one as well. It is cooler in tone, and they describe this one as a dusky rose taupe. So I do think that both quads are really beautiful, and I'm pleased that I've got them both. If you really love taupe, and this is the shimmer, this is a really beautiful shade in the Chantecaille quad, then I'd probably say this is the one that you're looking for. This one from Chanel, although is a true pastel type of quad, I really love this. They call it purple, sort of more of a lavender shade. I think it is really beautiful. In here, they're more of luminous matte, luminous satins. Here you do have the shimmer, and this, unlike the Chantecaille one, this is really a true yellow, but it is really, really beautiful. So it just depends which color story you like. So as I was saying before, today I'm going to do a second look using the Chanel quad, and I'm just going to use two shades, the two shades that I used yesterday for my own makeup, and I used the two bottom ones, and I thought it looked really beautiful. So I'm just going to wipe these swatches off my arm, and then we'll get started with the eye look. So I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the Classic Crease, and go into the shade here. And I put more on the outer corner, and then I just sweep the rest over my lid. I also just put this in the crease and take it above as well. Now I will keep on using the shade with a different brush in a minute, just to get a little bit more depth in the outer corner. But I do think that these shadows are really lovely. And this colour story surprised me. I was quite interested when I saw the promo photos, but I just think this looks far more beautiful on the eye than I ever thought it was going to. I just think it's really, really beautiful. Then I'm going to take the Sonny G, the pencil one, go back into the shade again, and I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. And I did forget to say that with all the base makeup and all the makeup that I'm putting on today will be listed and linked below. The bronzer that I've got on today is the new Hermes one, and I think that video will be going up before this one, and if it has, I will put a link up here if you want to take a look at that. So now I'm just going to take the Rapha. This is the Rapha number 12, and this is a really dense brush because I just using the same shade. I just want to add just more depth just in the very outer corner here. I love it how you can build up these shadows if you want to as well. And then I'm just going to just stamp it above as well. And I'll use another brush in a minute just to blend things out. So then just staying in that area where I put the extra shadow on, I just stay in that area and just blend it out. And now I'm going to go into the shade. I'm just going to use my finger. This is what I did yesterday. And I'm just going to take it through here. And just a little bit up through here as well. And then I'm just going to take this brush again and just blend it in. And then I'm going to take the sponge applicator that comes with the quad and put some of the shade in a corner. I really like using sometimes these sponge applicators because you just have a lot more control with the shadow, and this one potentially could have fallout, but with using the sponge the other day when I used it, I didn't have any fallout, and it just helps just control the area where you want it. So I've just put it in a corner and just running it just through here a little bit as well. Then I'm going to use a Chanel eyeliner. This is the one that I used yesterday, and this is in the shade Espresso, and it's only really a small amount. This is quite a light look. So I'm going to just tight line on my upper lash line and just put the smallest amount on my lower lash line as well. And then I'll pop on some mascara, and then we'll put on the new Chanel blush, and I'll figure out which lipstick I'm going to wear today. So now I'm going to use the new Chanel blush. This is just absolutely beautiful. If you want to see a close-up of this and see how I applied it in my other video as well using a different brush, today I'm going to use the Chukuhodo. This is the F03. I haven't used this brush yet, so I just want to see how it applies with this. But as I was saying, I've already done a video using both the quad where I used all the 4 shadows on my eyes, and also this as well. So I'm just going to do the same. I just sweep it through the blush, and with this brush it's applying really beautifully as well. I love it that it has this really, it is an illuminating blush, so, but it has a beautiful, it does have a beautiful illumination, and it gives, I think, gives a really beautiful lit from within look. And it's applying just as beautifully with this brush as it was with the other brush that I used as well. Both are natural hair brushes that I've used so far. The other ones that I mainly use for my blush anyway. It's a really, really beautiful colour. And then for lipstick, I'm going to use a Chanel. This is the Rouge Balm, and this is in the shade My Rose. So this isn't one of the new shades that are coming out. I think there are 2 new shades, and when they become available in New Zealand, I will be picking up at least one of them. But I think the formula of these are really, really lovely. So they're not hugely pigmented like a normal lipstick. They are a balm, and I do find them really moisturizing. I think they are really lovely. They are a lip balm. So they are just a really gorgeous pigmented lip balm. So I think that the finished look is really, really lovely. And as I was saying, I just wore those 2 shades from that Chanel quad, and I think just the 2 shades together are really lovely. When I did my first video and I used all 4 shades, that works as well. But the 2 shades together are just gorgeous too. And it's quite a simple eye look to do as well. The other 2 shades that I think would work really beautifully together, if I'm just going to use 2, would be this one and that one as well. I haven't tried that yet, but I will do it in the future, and I'll probably do another video showing that as well, because I think that's going to look really, really lovely. The blush is just absolutely gorgeous, and I think the shade of this balm is just really lovely and soft, and goes with this overall just really pretty spring look. So out of the 2 quads, which one should you get? Well, I can't answer that for you. That's a personal preference. It depends if you're choosing between one or the other. It really depends which color story you would probably reach for more. The Chanel quad, I think, is more versatile than it first looks, since you can just use 2 shades like I have today, and then the other 2, that purple or the lavender and the brown together. I think that would be really beautiful as well, and all 4 are gorgeous too. So this definitely is more versatile than you think it would be. And initially I wasn't too sure with it being a pastel quad what it would look like, but I think it is much more beautiful on than I thought that it was going to be. The Chantecaille quad is really gorgeous too. If you really love the pinks, then I think this is probably the quad for you. This is a really, really beautiful shade of pink. And I've watched some videos, and there's some people that weren't too sure about the shade, but it does look really gorgeous on the eyes. And if you love a taupe, then this is probably the quad for you. You'd get a lot of use out of this one as well. So both are really beautiful. It just comes down to personal preference. But there were a few people asking me if I could do swatches of it, and that's why I did this video. So that's it for today's video. I'd love it if you liked it and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.